At Whispering Pines Lake, dawn rose not just with sunlight, but with silence earned by generations of men who valued respect, strength, and boundaries. The water shimmered like steel. The tall pines guarded the shore like soldiers. And for years, the men here lived by a code older than any law. Protect the land, protect the water, protect each other. For decades, that code held steady, until one man's pride drove a wedge through it, disturbing peace that once seemed unbreakable. John, a retired teacher with silver hair and weathered hands, had chosen this lake as his refuge. His kayak was more than a vessel. It was his companion, his discipline, his freedom, and proof that his spirit had not aged, even though his body carried the weight of years. Every weekend he launched from his dock, slicing water clean with each stroke, feeling strength in his shoulders and peace in his chest. For John, the lake was not recreation, it was a sanctuary. But then came the morning that stripped away that peace. His neighbor Henderson, a broad and bull-headed man, hammered a massive dock into the lake, pushing deep past the property line and into John's path. It wasn't just wood floating on water. It was arrogance built into beams, forcing John to steer into reeds and jagged rocks where risk waited with every stroke. What once felt like sanctuary now felt like a challenge carved into the water itself. John did not yell, nor did he storm. He carried himself with the weight of age and dignity, walking to Henderson's door, voice calm but sharp, saying, "Your dock blocks my access. We need to fix this like men." But Henderson's arms folded, his smirk cold, his answer dismissive. "The lake's open to everyone. You'll manage." That wound cut deeper than wood or stone. Every older man knows the sting, being brushed aside, treated as if your words have no weight, as if your years of respect mean nothing. John offered compromise, even kindness, moved the dock slightly, split costs, widened the path for both families. He even suggested building unity with a community picnic, strengthening neighborly bonds. But Henderson's pride was locked tight, his refusal loud in its silence. Weeks turned into months, tension rising like storm clouds over still water. John's patience hardened into resolve. He gathered proof like a warrior sharpening his sword, photos of the obstruction, maps marked with red ink, bylaws highlighted with steady hand. This was no longer about one man's dock. It was about principle, about proving that respect survives only when men stand tall to defend it. The association heard his claim, weighed his evidence, and after deliberation, the verdict fell like an axe. Henderson's dock was ruled illegal, a violation of both community rules and honor alike. The order came down clear: remove the structure or face harsh penalties. Boards cracked, nails shrieked, pride splintered plank by plank as the dock was torn apart. Each piece dragged from the water was more than wood. It was proof that arrogance crumbles when truth stands firm. And when the last post was hauled away, the lake opened once again, wide and free, as it had been for generations of men before. John carried his kayak back to the shore, shoulders squared and heart steady, determination glowing brighter than the sun reflecting off the water. He slid into the open lake, paddle dipping smooth, each stroke lighter, freer, as though the water itself honored his stand. This was not just a return to routine, it was victory, a reminder that age does not weaken courage and dignity never retires. Yet John did not let pride harden his heart. He built a fire by the shore, gathered his neighbors, poured drinks, shared food, and yes, even invited Henderson to sit by the flames. Because true men know battles must end, and respect is rebuilt not through silence, but through shared moments under the night sky. Laughter carried across the water, stories flowed with the whiskey, and slowly the fabric of brotherhood was stitched back together. The dock was gone, but the lesson remained carved into the memory of every man who stood on that shore. Strength has no expiration date, respect must never be surrendered, and courage only grows sharper with age. John's stand was not just for himself. It was for every man who refuses to bow, every man who believes silence is strength, and every man who knows that when pushed, you rise, you fight, and you prevail. And long after, when the fire burned out and stars ruled the lake, the men of Whispering Pines did not speak only of Henderson's dock. They spoke of John, the man who defended respect with calm, fought fair without fear, and proved that honor does not fade with time. His story became legend, a reminder to every man over 50 that life is not about surrender. It is about standing tall, no matter the years on your shoulders.